good with the offense today?
Well, I think first we had great passing, so that allowed Avery to really run our offense. And then I was just really deliberate about my hand contact and really letting myself go, so I was able to see a lot of success.
How comfortable are you feeling with Van Hook in there as a freshman?
Very. I think she's doing a really great job right now, especially in our huddles. She's always giving feedback and trying to encourage us and instill confidence in us. So I think she's doing a really great job right now.
Yeah, and then just Madison, what was the team's mindset after the first set to really keep that momentum going there in set two?
Yeah, we talked about just keeping control of the match and having as much energy as we could and really making that change from Thursday to stay consistent, and I thought we did that.
How cool was it to see Samantha have that third set she had?
It was awesome. She's a great player, and so to see her go out and take some big swings is awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Madison, you were recognized for a 1,000th kill beforehand. What was kind of going through your head being recognized for that in front of the home crowd?
Yeah, that was pretty special. That's an accomplishment that coming in, I didn't even expect to hit. I didn't ever think that was possible. So to be able to do that and get that recognition at home with my family here was really cool.
Was it, being you guys are middles, was that part of the game plan going in, or just kind of happened organically that you guys got a lot of opportunities and you were both swung for 600 or better efficiency? So what went into that, or how did that kind of happen?
Once again, kind of back to what Bryn said, our passing was really good, so it allowed Avery to set us in good situations, and I think they took us one-on-one, and we really took advantage of that.
So it was just kind of feeding the hot hand for more or less?
Yep, I thought Avery did a really good job getting us the ball today.
And then you guys did a nice job of coming out of timeouts. Every time there was a stoppage, first timeout, or there was the review that you lost, and then you came back and scored 7 of 9 points, and then a couple Denver timeouts you came out hot. So how much was that kind of a pride of an emphasis to kind of bounce out of timeouts and grab some momentum?
I'll say that when we have a challenge, even if we're not going to win it, I think we already have that mentality that we're going to win the next ball. No matter the outcome, if we don't win that challenge or not, we always want to respond positively despite the outcome. So we don't want to let that affect us.
And it must have felt nice to get a conference win, and record-wise it was a little weird with you guys being a win with 6-7 and without a win, and then Denver coming in 3-0 in conference with a losing record. But it must feel nice to get some positive momentum going inside the conference.
Yeah, it felt really good to go out there and perform like that.
All right, Coach Williamson, why don't you go ahead and give us an opening statement?
Really proud of this team for how we've responded this week. Obviously not the way we wanted to start conference at 0-2, but I feel like this team has done a really good job this week of honestly having some hard conversations, working through things, going 1-0 every day, and we've really tried to focus on being in the present, and I think that can be difficult when you get into that conference season just because it all means just a little bit more. But today we came out really hot in that first set offensively. The second set, we still did a pretty good job, not the same amount of kills, but I felt like our serving picked up and got them out of system a lot more, and then they made some more errors, and we were able to capitalize on that. And then the third set, I felt like there was a little bit more back and forth. We built a lead. They kind of started to come back, but again, we handled that really well. And I think both on the offensive end and on the defensive end, we just did our jobs at a high level. Offensively, we hit over 400 as a team, which was really good to see. Obviously, Madison Harms has been pretty consistent for us and continued that tonight. But I think the two people that really stood out to me, Sam, she came in and played outside for us the whole match and hit had 8 kills and hit 500. And that's a really good number as an outside. And in such a big match, I just felt like she handled that really, really well. And then Bryn is the other one that you just have to give credit to. You had 8 kills, hit over 600, but also was a part of 7 blocks on the defensive end. And I just felt like this was a match where she really let herself go. She let herself play at her level, her highest level, and it was really fun to watch her just commit to what she was doing, and a huge part of our success today. So I'm really happy for her as well.
Just with Samantha's third set there, I know you mentioned that she played really well on Thursday and came in and played well today, but just having that freshman breakthrough set, did you feel like she had that there in that third set?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously Sam, 6 out of her 8 kills came in the third set, but I think some of it came from Avery actually distributing the offense really well too. Early on, especially set 1, our middles had, I believe, 9 of the kills, 9 out of 16, and then not that we went away from them, but I don't think they were quite as dominant in the third, and that's where we were able to get our outsides, especially Sam, involved a little bit more. They were biting with our middle, and then we were able to find Sam some one-on-one moments, but I think that was a big match for her. I'd love to think that that's going to build a lot of confidence as well, just that she can perform at that high level in the match that we were in. So, again, she led our team in kills in the third set, and I think just kind of set the standard, set the tone for us.
And then how important is it for the middle blocker to really establish things offensively just with how the team runs offense?
Yeah, I think when your middles are involved, it just opens everything else up. And they both talked about it, but we just passed the ball a little bit better today, where we were able to get them involved early on and I think establish them. And then all of a sudden you start getting the blockers on the other side to start jumping a little bit, getting a little bit anxious. And then we're able to find some one-on-ones in other ways too. But both Harms and Bryn did a great job of just doing their job at a high level, staying consistent and disciplined attacking. Honestly, a couple of their errors, a couple of Madison's errors in the third set honestly came from not being quite as disciplined. She just hit a little bit lower, allowed the block to play with her a little bit more, but that's a part of it. It's the ups and downs of the game, but just overall, they both just did a really good job of hitting the good areas of the floor and taking the ball from a high contact point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just hitting 667 attacking percentage there in set 1. Is that the best team volleyball you think the team's played this season?
We've played some really high-level volleyball, and obviously the score, I think, maybe shows that a little bit along with the stats that came with it, but that's very hard to maintain, too, So I think what I was the most proud of is how we responded after doing that, is I still think we stayed aggressive. I still think we stayed really disciplined and still hit close to 290 in the second set, which as a team stat, we're going to be really happy with on most days. But yeah, I do think we played pretty clean volleyball. We served the ball really well throughout the match, made them have to make some adjustments on the passing end, shift some people around, and obviously that's exactly what we wanted to see happen.
Yeah, Coach. I thought the challenge early on. It was really early on, but it tied it at 9. But then they responded really well. So and then timeouts. Volleyball's kind of a momentum sport, so they didn't allow Denver to ever really get a ton of momentum. So how proud are you of kind of that aspect of it, of just the recognition of we need to put a stop to their runs?
Well, I think it just goes back to that mindset that we've been talking about all week of just win the day, be in the present, be 1-0. And I those challenges, I really do think she touched it. Sometimes the challenge doesn't go our way, but it also allowed us to reset a little bit. We had a good conversation while we were waiting for the answer, and then they were just very prepared going out on that next play. And they said in the locker room, I think Bryn said it right here, but I think they just did a really good job of staying engaged and understanding what their job was in that moment and not dwelling on the past, not looking at the future, just really, really being in the present and taking care of what we could.
And then at the preseason media day, we talked about there being a lot of depth in certain areas and then trying to make up for Elizabeth. And so how is that kind of smoothed out? It feels a little bit like the team has learned to kind of go at opponents in waves as opposed to kind of stacked on top of each other a little bit. Maybe a little.
Yeah, I think the team's identity is just something that it can take some time to really figure out. And, obviously losing Elizabeth, Lolo, and Amy, I'd put all three of those in that category. I think it's just taken us a little bit of time to figure things out. And this by no means that we have it all figured out. It's a good step for us, but we've got a lot that we can continue to improve on, that we can continue to rely on. But I do think today was a really good moment for us to see what this group can do and what this team can do when they play clean volleyball, when they follow the scouting report and do their jobs at a really high level. So there's a lot of season left. I'm sure there's some ups and downs that are going to come with it, but I do feel like this was a good step for us, a really big step for us, in not only having success but seeing ourselves be able to come out with the win as well.
And what has the team done to kind of use the early season, you're 500 now, to kind of use losses as learning experiences and to build off of the wins?
So that is one thing that I'm very proud of this program for doing, both now and in the past. I just feel like we have responded really well to obstacles. We've responded really well to adversity. And it's one of those things that we really pride ourselves on is we're not going to avoid adversity. We're going to talk about it. We're going to move on from it, and we're going to learn from it. And I feel like those losses are definitely a part of it. This program, this year we have, but this program doesn't lose 2 matches in a row very often. And I really do think that says a lot just about how we respond to failure at times. And I do think that our motto of winning the day is helping, and it's something that we have to continue to buy into. But yeah, like I said, just really proud of them for learning through those moments.
Just a few more from me. Just with the starting lineup, is that still kind of going to be a work in progress just throughout this portion of the season?
Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily call it a work in progress. I think it's using our depth. It's figuring out what works that night. And, I do think that we've got a great group of players right now, both the ones that were on the court tonight and the ones that maybe didn't see the playing time, that can all have success in different moments. So, some of the changes that we've made, it hasn't been all about figuring out the starting lineup. It's about how to utilize people's strengths a little bit more and maybe what's affecting us the most. So, obviously didn't have to make a change today, but we have in the past, and some of those changes have gone really well for us, so I do think that I think we're going to continue to be able to utilize our depth and be able to utilize our roster to earn the success that we need to have.
Mm-hmm. How impressive was Avery just on the defensive end? There was one play in the third set where she really had to dive out there, and for a second I had to do a double take and make sure it wasn't low.
Yeah, she did a great job tonight. Was second on our team in digs with 8, and she did have that one rally where I think she had 2 back-to-back and really good digs back-to-back. One where she had to go side to the side, one that she had to really extend forward, and that we've been working on that a lot, just offensively, of just how do we allow ourselves to go and not hesitate at all. And her, along with others, definitely kind of bought into that tonight.
Thanks, Coach.